Hello, everybody. It's Joe from the Strange Voyage Files. It is January 4th, 2026. And I wish we could go back 20 years and get those years back. And now this is not going to be a ranking or a review of The Ultimate Sin. I don't plan these videos out. I don't, it is not something that I shouldn't say I don't ever. It's something I rarely ever do. Usually just kind of come up with an idea that day or the day before or whatnot and do it. So, there are times where I think a little bit ahead, but usually these are done on the fly. Like I come home from work and, let's do this album. Now, I did not plan to do another Ozzy. In fact, I planned to kind of not do Ozzy after Christmas. And then, of course, I got the two Abomination Blizzard and Diary versions from eBay. And then this popped into my head last night. So, but I don't want to do a ranking of this album yet. I'll do that in the future. I want to shelf some stuff for later. I mean, I can blow through Ozzy stuff rather quickly, and I'm kind of doing that, so I want to put the brakes on it. Okay. The point of this video is it is 2026, and in 1986 we got The Ultimate Sin. This album. I am dropping stuff. Hang on. This one. This is from that box set, the See You on the Other Side box set. Figured I'd pull out the couple of versions I have. I have this. I have one, the first pressing from England. I didn't bring that up. The poster that would come with it. This is from the first box set. I do have the other one, but the other one's kind of the same album. Here's that's what the original sleeve looked like. And then this is cool. This is that splatter vinyl. So it's cool, and it's in the Ultimate Sin colors. But we have really not gotten too much from this album as far as going above and beyond. I really don't like that album getting screwed up. Sorry, guys. There we go. And then here's my original version that I got in like 87. I've been putting everything in sleeves, putting little stickers on there for the kids so they know what everything is. Yeah, I listened to this album over and over. This is beaten up. This version, this first pressing, this is well played, and I do love this album. I know that a lot of people kind of said, that was it with Ozzy, with this album, and because this was like, this album and Somewhere in Time and Turbo, All My Heroes Have Gone Soft. I don't agree with that, but some people did. Then this is the original release CD. Yeah. Bought this again on eBay at some point. Got a couple copies of that because. Now, what is this? This is 95? Yeah, this is the remaster. They remastered all the albums. And then they did it again, I believe in 2002, when they did the Abominations of Blizzard and Diary. They remixed, something like that, all again, because that's where, like, the Bark at the Moon, a lot of people hate that Bark at the Moon version, too, which I don't like it either, because it flattened out and shortened Jake's solos and cut a lot of Don Airey's stuff out. But this album didn't get touched, and we have not heard much from this album since 1995. Now, big reason is, big shock, Sharon. Sharon was in I don't know if there's a lawsuit or there was a lawsuit. There was a fight with Phil Soussan, who wrote the big hit on the album, Shot in the Dark. And the rumblings were that anything else that she did with this album, she'd have to pay him, and of course she doesn't want to pay him anything. She doesn't want to pay Phil Soussan anything. So she deleted this album from the catalog. Now, it's real easy to find. It's not like, oh my God, Ultimate Sin is deleted. We can't find it anywhere. You hop on eBay. You can find, I mean, I got both of these. Maybe this, I got this one on eBay. Maybe I even got this on Amazon. I don't know. They're real simple to find. Take you 3 seconds. And they're not that expensive. They're probably like $20. So it's not very hard. This isn't like deleted from the catalog and it's done. It's kind of deleted from the catalog and they weren't going to do anything going forward with it. And it all has to do with her not wanting to pay Phil Soussan. Probably doesn't want to pay Jake because Jake, where he got screwed with royalties from Bark at the Moon, he actually got his royalties from this album. So less copies they sell, less she has. She's such an evil troll. She would rather not get anything for herself than pay people. But I'm sure she's getting something on the back end. So this is the album, and Ozzy said he hates this album, and that's why it was deleted from the catalog, which it's probably very true because he really has gone in detail in the past about how much he hated working with the producer Ron Nevinson. In fact, he said it was like working with Darth Vader. He despised working with him. Also, this is kind of when he's in Betty Ford, and I think he does his stuff in Paris, and the rest of the band's in LA. It's a messed up process. This is the album is a really kind of a disaster all the way through. Bob is around to write everything except for Shot in the Dark, and then gets fired. I think this is when drunken Ozzy tells Bob that he's really miserable with, again, now, it's a story, I wasn't there for it, but Bob talks about this in his book, where he kind of can't stand Ozzy, can't stand Sharon anymore, and whatnot, and, so, the next day when Ozzy's sober, Bob tells him the story again, or something. I don't remember exactly how it goes, but, Ozzy, of course, either doesn't remember or doesn't fess up and tells Bob he's fired. And I don't remember. It's something stupid like that, but Bob gets fired over this yet again. But is thankfully back for No Rest for the Wicked. So this album has really been in limbo. Now, I was going to kind of look into this, but I got caught up doing other stuff today. I do remember there is supposed to be, I know I read an interview around this time between Ultimate Sin and No Rest for the Wicked, where there was a song left off this album. I could have and I know it's supposed to be from Osmosis, but I could swear it's Slow Burn. Now, I know for a fact that they say there's a song called Slow Burn that was left off Osmosis. I don't know if it's the same song, or maybe I am forgetting it, but man, Slow Burn has stuck with me since the 80s. So, I mean, my memory goes, but I don't know. So it gets to the point of this video. We're at the 40th anniversary of Ultimate Sin. And here's what we get for Bark at the Moon. This one. What I read on this one. Oh, and I got a little, if they could possibly be worth money for the girls, I put a little dollar sticker on there. Bark at the Moon, yes. So we got a poster, but hang on. This is what we got for the 40th anniversary of Bark at the Moon. And I think this was a record store day initially. So they're like, hey, let's press it again. No added tracks, no one at the B-side, no spiders, cobalt blue, and a poster. A real lot of thought was put into this for us. Again, I don't know if there were any other tracks off this one, but I mean, it's nice, but ooh, this was our 40th anniversary. I've said it before, and I will say it again. I got to give it to Kiss. Their releasing of their albums, they're doing a beautiful job. They're absolutely doing a wonderful, beautiful job with those albums, because you get so much stuff in those anniversary albums. Black Sabbath, the super deluxe versions, they're very nice as well. I mean, Kiss is really kind of set a bar high, but the Black Sabbath ones are nice too. We're getting nothing. It would be very nice if we got a special 40th anniversary for Ultimate Sin. It would be nice. Now, the Ultimate Sin, if you remember that VHS video came out, that was great. They could do a reissue of it with like that as a Blu-ray or 4K, even better. But it would be awesome if we got, if there were any other tracks on a special edition, 40th anniversary remastered with the original. We love the original albums. People my age, we love the original. Remasters always sound nice. So you can have both in a box. The original and a remaster. Some people have done things like that. Throw in that video. And then how about a couple of live shows that we haven't heard before? Because really outside of that Ultimate Ozzy, there's not that... I mean, of course there's always bootlegs, but you don't really hear much about this tour. And are there dates where they play deep tracks? Are they... Let me see. Ultimate Sin... set list. You know, I mean, so they did, okay, so off that album, they did Killer of Giants, Thank God for the Bomb, The Ultimate Sin, Secret Loser, Never Know Why. They did a lot, Shot in the Dark. But is there one where they did Never? Yeah, it's an awesome song. Where they did Fool Like You? That's an awesome song. So, you know, there is definitely stuff that they could release. I'm just kind of curious. Setlist may have been kind of the same. I don't know. It's kind of what I'm pulling up. Again, I'm doing this on the fly. And it was a big tour. But they could do they could do something live. You know, another live concert. They could do remixes. They could do stuff from the studio. There's so much that could be done. This album has been ignored for for about 30 years now, since this thing came out. I would really love to see individual album box sets come out. And they could really do some wonderful things. This is a great album. It was a very successful album for Ozzy. It was an album that, yes, hardcore Ozzy fans, a lot of them walked away at this point. But it also brought in a lot of people who were not Ozzy fans through Shot in the Dark. Tour with Metallica. Now, I would absolutely have taken the Motley Crue tour over this one. Actually, I would have taken the Def Leppard tour over all of them. But there's a big tour with Metallica, and Cliff, God rest his soul, is still in the band at this point in time. You know, there's so many things. And again, I know Sharon videoed a lot of these concerts. So we really should get something. You know, they could put a beautiful set together. Live stuff. Demos. If there are unreleased tracks, I'm telling you, I was an Ozzy insane nut when I was a kid. There is something, I know there is something that is left over. And maybe it's a Phil Soussan song. Now, from what I remember is that Phil Soussan brought Shot in the Dark, or at least the idea, from his prior band. So it wouldn't be surprising if they reworked a couple other songs that Phil had brought from his prior band to possibly be used as Ozzy songs. I'm sure Sharon doesn't want to pay him. But come on, at what point does this end, Sharon? I mean, how much is enough? But I guess for her, it's never enough. It would be nice, though, if we got a beautiful box set, a beautiful edition. I mean, this was a slap in the face. I love this album. This was a slap. Oh, it's blue. It's blue. Yay! Who cares? So what? Yeah, I bought it. I know I did. I'm a completist. I love, the studio stuff I'm going to buy. That's just it. But I should take that back. There's like 37 different versions of Patient Number 9. I am not going and buying all that. Album sucks. But and there's like a red vinyl Osmosis that was limited to like 500 copies. It's goes for like $900. No, I'm never going to buy that either. So okay, I'm a completist within reason. But it would really be great because this album was a big, big album. I have a feeling that we're going to get something big for No More Tears because that seems to be the album that it was a monster album. That seems to be the one that for some reason Sharon is willing to pay other people for publishing, or maybe I don't know, whatever. But I would love to see something for Ultimate Sin. I would love to see a 40th anniversary. If we're going to get this, don't even do it. If we're going to get the Ultimate Sin, red vinyl, don't even do it. It's a slap in the face to us. Seriously. I think we deserve. I really think, we stuck with Ozzy through good times and through bad, through great albums and absolute garbage. And, we want to honor his legacy, and we want to have everything that is Ozzy. So this album that has been ignored for 30 years, that has been brushed aside because she doesn't want to pay Phil Soussan, start paying people. Which she won't. She just doesn't care. We're an ATM. I'll say this every single time. We're an ATM. We're an ATM. We're an ATM. And I used to think Jack was our saving grace, but I don't think that's the case anymore. I think he has become an extension of his mother. So, all right, that's my 2 cents. I'm just hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping we do get something for the 40th anniversary of this album. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see something besides some stupid colored vinyl. I'd like to see a beautiful set put together that maybe kind of opens the door for the real sets, because that 30th anniversary Blizzard and Diary, that was garbage. That was just so stupid. We got Randy Rhoads playing for 2 minutes, and then the Goodbye to Romance with Ozzy and Randy on vocals. Yes, it's nice and whatnot, but no. And we got the Ozzy Live. Again, it's a great album. Ozzy Live is a great album. But, it's pretty much this tribute album. So, and there's so much stuff that she could release. But I'd love to see something. I hope that I'm right. I hope I am remembering correctly that there is an unreleased song or several that if they do something like this, that we would hear it. All right, let me know what you think. Would you like to see a real 40th anniversary Ultimate Sin? Again, I will rank this somewhere probably long down the line. I really want to start doing less Ozzy stuff so I have more Ozzy stuff to do over the next few years. But I did want to talk about this. All right, let me know what you think. And what was this album to you? Was this like a starting point? Was this Ozzy went soft, or was this like, hey, just another great Ozzy album? For me, it was just another great Ozzy album. So let me know, like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff, and I will see ya.